Bodybuilding just isn't the same anymore. It used to be about making sessions tough with high intensity exercises. Mr. Olympia was known for saying,
"Yeah, buddy, lightweight,"
and barbell squatting tons of weight, and now the Mr. Olympia is too afraid to barbell squat and chooses a lazy Smith machine squat instead. And that's me talking about professional bodybuilders, but with recreational bodybuilders, it's gotten even worse. Yeah, let's wear a belt to squat on a machine. Yeah, let's wear a belt to bicep curl. And oh yeah, let's wear a belt to interview somebody. Free weights aren't worth it. Let's just do machines for every single exercise. Yeah, stability and core demands for an exercise make it a bad exercise. Recreational bodybuilders say all that to build an unaesthetic physique that's not healthy and to look up to fitness influencers who lie about their natural status. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mario Rios. I'm a certified personal trainer with a bachelor's degree in exercise science, and a key part of my journey was I hit my growth spurt late. So I was that kid in high school who looked like he was still in middle school, and when I was growing up, I loved to play sports and I wanted to build a better social life for myself. And because I had a skinny, small, and I was short at the time physique, all that was hard for me. When I played sports, the guys who were bigger than me were way stronger than me. They were also faster than me. And this didn't just apply to guys. I was smaller and weaker than the girls too. And I wanted to earn respect from both these kinds of people. And being a smart guy, I knew the only way to do that was to build muscle in an athletic fashion. So in sports, I would be pushing those guys over, and the girls, not only would I be stronger than the girls, they'd actually look up to me. They'd respect me, which would lead to better social experiences and opportunities. When I started lifting weights, I wanted to build muscle for sports and for aesthetics. I never looked up to bodybuilding physiques, and through my first year of weightlifting, I didn't even know what a bodybuilder was. I couldn't name you one bodybuilder, except for Jim Stupani, who I actually got my first workout from. My cousin actually gave me this to help me start lifting weights. And now in my Ultimate Athletic Bodybuilding Academy, I help you with those things too. I have weekly calls and give you workouts and stuff. If you want to learn more about that, it'll be the link in the description. Dear bodybuilding, let's make you great again, and let's make fitness great again. So take my hand and come into the light, and that light is athletic bodybuilding. Because of my desire to get better in sports and just be a stronger, more capable person overall, and to attract girls, I founded Athletic Bodybuilding. The weightlifting component of Athletic Bodybuilding was brought up first by AthleanX, which connected weightlifting with athletics, or being an athlete in the weight room. And I connected that athletic style of weightlifting to aesthetics and health. And that's the quick story of athletic bodybuilding. But what's the difference between athletic bodybuilding and bodybuilding? Before I can go into the difference of them, what is the same? The similarities between the two is that the main goal of an athletic bodybuilder and a bodybuilder is we both want to build muscle. That's the priority of our training. We're not doing box jumps or jump ropes, even cardio. We're in the gym lifting heavy. And the second thing both groups have in common is that we both use bodybuilding principles. What do I mean by bodybuilding principles? Rest time, sets, proximity to failure, those things resemble a bodybuilder, as well as the split. You don't really see an athlete do a push-pull leg split for more than maybe a month or two during the entire year. But both athletic bodybuilders and bodybuilders will do a push-pull leg split year-round, because again, the goal is to build muscle. And the difference, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it impacts essentially everything, is the exercises we choose. In athletic bodybuilding, the main focus is compound lifts and multi-joint exercises where you stand up whenever possible. Keyword saying whenever possible. The only reason we'll be laying down or sitting down is to change the musculature we're targeting. For example, bench press, you gotta lay down because you gotta target the chest somehow. And we essentially avoid all machines. There are a couple that I'll include, which I've gone over a couple times in my athletic bodybuilding video, but in general, we don't, because they don't replicate real life activities, which would mean it's bad for athletics and health. Bodybuilders, they don't care. As long as it maximizes muscle growth, they'll do it. So barbell squats, nah, they'll do Smith machine squats, hack squats, leg presses. Those are the key differences, and you can see the difference in exercises. People don't know this about athletic bodybuilding, but actual athletes do this, but they don't do it year round. They might do it for 2 to 3 blocks of training. When I say blocks of training, that could be 4 to 6 weeks. But real life athletes do this because athletic bodybuilding greatly benefits performance. And lucky for us, it also is the best for aesthetics and living a better life. When I was that skinny short kid in high school, the guys I looked up to in terms of at my school, and what I mean look up to, they were living the life I wanted. They didn't look like bodybuilders. I went to a public school with 1,000 people. I didn't see the girls going up to these bodybuilding looking dudes. They either went to the athletes at my school or to those lean kind of TikTok looking dudes. The ones with tons of followers because they have a lean jaw. And all the research we have backs this up. A survey of over 1,000 women by fitnessvolt.com showed that women prefer the athletic athletic or lean body type by far. And funny enough, they actually prefer bulky bodybuilding looking dudes more than skinny guys. So you need to put on some muscle. Don't be skinny, you gotta hit the weight room and get strong. And there's tons of research that shows pretty privilege, or that the more attractive you are, the better life you live. And I've noticed it a ton in my personal life. You think when I was 18 years old, I looked like I was 14, I had no muscle. You think I was confident in myself? Of course not. With attractiveness, confidence is number one. And building the body is also a component of that, but through my life, I found that the confidence built from a great physique took me further. As soon as I built muscle and looked more respectable, I started having experience with girls finally, and I found it easier to make friends with other dudes too. You might be thinking, you rely too much on social acceptance. I don't care what other people think about me. And I personally don't. I started lifting weights for that, but then the more that I started lifting weights, building my body, I personally lift for myself. And when I say lift for myself, I lift to make myself proud. People acknowledging I've done something special, people acknowledging that I'm a respectable person makes me feel good. And that's why award ceremonies are a thing. You think Leonardo DiCaprio cares what you think about him? When Leo DiCaprio got his Grammy, of course it made him feel good. It made him proud of the work he did. It also made him feel proud of himself because people were saying, you're great and you did something great. Again, he still doesn't care what we think. He doesn't need that social acceptance. He doesn't care that people think he's a creep because he dates girls that are way younger than him, which I find nothing wrong with. I'm saying that now because if I'm 40 and I'm dating some girl that's 22, I hope you guys have my back. A lean, athletic, aesthetic physique makes you confident in yourself, which makes other people accept you or provides you some sort of social validation, which makes you proud of yourself. And the confidence from all that allows you to have better social experiences and opportunities. What's life without social experiences and opportunities? That's why I built muscle. I was completely isolated until I built confidence and built a better physique. The reason I'm able to speak to a camera to over thousands of people is because I built the physique and everything that came from that. But the key word is an aesthetic physique. Bodybuilders don't have an aesthetic physique. At my first personal training job, I trained 4 girls, and there was this one guy who looked borderline natural, but borderline also on steroids. All 4 girls thought he was on steroids and complained, I guess not complained, but kind of ridiculed his physique because they thought he was obsessed with himself, and they were saying, why does he need to get that big? Girls don't think that looks good, and some guys do too, but through my experience of growing on YouTube, there's a big percentage of dudes that also don't think the bulky bodybuilder look looks good. The research doesn't support it. People don't think bodybuilders are aesthetic. The only bodybuilders people even say look aesthetic are the athletic looking ones. David Lade and Alex Eubank, they both would be classified in my opinion as athletic looking bodybuilders. And for Alex Eubank, he has a big chest, but even though that's his biggest and most impressive part of his physique, girls don't like that. You can see from his Omegle video that people don't like that. It's his muscularity, his definition, and his shape that makes him aesthetic, not his bodybuilding muscle, which is his chest. His chest is his only bodybuilding looking muscle. But in summary, it's that lean athletic physique that makes you look aesthetic, which helps you build a better life. Great aesthetics equals great life. Keep that in your head. I've heard tons of times that bodybuilders say the best way to look like an athlete is with bodybuilding, so bodybuilding principles, and that you'll get there faster if you do that. So you might as well use machines to look like Leon Edwards because you'll get there faster. But they forget that you also want to perform like Leon Edwards. People misunderstand in life that fast doesn't mean better. And building an athletic physique with athletic bodybuilding allows you to achieve the Lamborghini physique, but with the reliability of a Honda Civic. To be honest, I'm not too familiar with cars, but I see a bunch of Honda Civics and I assume they're reliable. But yeah, imagine a Lamborghini with great reliability. That is a physique built from athletic bodybuilding. But imagine if you built the athletic physique using bodybuilding. That's like having a Lamborghini that drives like a Fiat. What's the point? Why not look like an athlete and perform like one too? And also a bodybuilding physique won't have very good reliability or health, which I'll explain later. But how about a bodybuilding physique? A bodybuilding physique is like a commercial bus that drives like a Fiat and has the reliability of a Lambo. It's a lose, lose, lose. So there's a difference between athletic muscle and bodybuilding muscle. Athletic muscle prioritizes the core. I've heard so many stupid bodybuilders saying, if you want to train core, train it by itself. Go do crunches. But that's not the functional way to develop the core. The functional use of the core is to stabilize between upper extremity and lower extremity movements. When are you ever like crunching or doing trunk flexion in real life? You're never doing that. So no, these bodybuilders are idiots. Go tell them they're idiots. You cannot do crunches to develop your core. That's not how it works. Tons of my subscribers ask me how to develop a strong core, and I always tell them, get strong at the heavy compound lifts, the deadlift, the squat, the military press, even farmer carries. The most important muscle for athletes is the core, which is what makes you truly strong. Rocky Balboa said it best.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Imagine a football player who can move anything they want, but when they get touched by another guy, they just crumble. That's a bodybuilder essentially. So connecting a bodybuilder to football makes the bodybuilder useless. And another key benefit of athletic muscle that bodybuilding muscle doesn't have is it allows muscles to work together. One of the key muscles used when throwing a baseball is the lats. But there's a reason why if you crank out lat pull downs in the gym, you're not gonna throw a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, because there are other muscles that contribute to throwing that baseball. And you need to learn how to fire all those muscles at the same time, which is done with compound lifts. And most importantly, it's done with specific training. That's why I always say, if you want to get better at pull-ups, do freaking pull-ups. There's a saying that goes, athletes train movements, bodybuilders train muscles. When you train movements with bodybuilding principles, that's how you build athletic, aesthetic, functional muscle. When you train muscles with bodybuilding principles, that's how you build a clunky, bulky, unaesthetic physique with terrible cardio. This is where this saying, weight is weight, applies. If you put a fat person next to a bodybuilder and you have them walking with oversized clothes on, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. When weight is put on that's not functional and doesn't help your performance, weight is weight. When people see bodybuilders who can like dunk or do something athletic, they think, oh, this bodybuilder is athletic. Bodybuilding helps with athletics. Sebum can bump, but exceptions don't make rules. If those bodybuilders trained athletically, imagine how crazy they would be. I personally can't dunk, neither can my brother Martin, but when we were playing basketball in college, we'd go play in the hood, and we played 5v5 full court basketball. And my brother and I were the best defenders on both teams. We would guard their best players. We were guarding their guards. If there was a big center, my brother and I were still asked to guard him, even though I'm 5'10 and my brother's 5'11. Because we had that perfect mix of power and speed, and one of our teammates said we were freak athletes because we were running the whole game. And my brother and I in high school, before we started lifting, were weak, unathletic. We couldn't guard anybody. Now apparently we're the best defenders on our team, best defenders on any team. And we all know defense is about effort and athleticism. I felt really powerful after that. That should just show you that being athletic does help with your self-confidence. And it truly does help with your health as well. We all know the steroids are not healthy. It's a really dark part of bodybuilding. But when muscle doesn't have functional benefit, it really hurts your health. Sebum said in an interview that he played basketball for 1 hour and he couldn't walk for an entire week. You think that's healthy? That just proves what I said earlier is true. Weight is weight. Chris Bump says BMI is almost morbidly obese. Yet I have people telling me that doesn't matter because he's muscular and he's lean. You think playing basketball for an hour should lead to being immobile? Stability, balance, and coordination, the benefits you get from these heavy compound lifts, are what prevent injury. Think about those words again. Stability, balance, and coordination. You think an elderly person has those things? That's why their fall risk is so high. And when a bodybuilder puts on muscle with these things not developing at the same time, that's when they put their body in grave danger. I made a joke several times about like bodybuilders helping you move, they're gonna hurt their back. It's just facts. Not only do they get accustomed to external equipment like a belt, knee sleeves, all that stuff, but they also don't train stability, coordination, and balance, which helps them stay injury-free and overall healthy. If you build muscle on a squat, you will be a healthy person. You will have the strength of someone your size. If you built muscle purely on a leg press, you will not be healthy. You will not have the functional strength you need to prevent injury. So bodybuilding worsens your health, performance, and your looks. So why do bodybuilders train the way they do? Your guess is as good as mine. If you want help on your athletic bodybuilding journey, check out my link to my ultimate athletic bodybuilding community in the description, or you can get my 28-day workout in this video here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.